Order all your half-shell favorites for takeout or delivery. Visit www.halfshelloysterhouse.com to browse the familiar menu and place your delivery or takeout order in minutes. Same menu prices, just a $5 flat delivery fee every time at Half Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232, or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonya sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonya, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Today I have with me one of my co-hosts from the NFL Recap, Jameion Spencer. Cedric put us down this week. That's okay. We still love him.
Put us down. That's okay.
We put us down. But we have a newcomer to the show today. We have former LSU football player, Rodney Hudson, and he is a friend of Jameion Spencer. Is from Monroe. I'll say the high school later. I don't want to say it.
Come on. Go on, say it. Get it out. The Washita.
Washita.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
Okay. All right. How you doing, Rodney? How y'all doing?
Good, doing good. Can't complain one bit.
Wouldn't do no good if we did, huh?
Yep.
How about you, Jay?
I'm fantastic. I cannot complain. Wish it was colder. That's all. I wish it was colder.
Oh no, I'm good on that.
Oh yeah, we good over here. With this cold weather.
Raining and cold, no.
Yeah.
I don't want both. Just give me cold.
Right, right.
So Rodney, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Oh man. Well, like you say, grew up in Monroe. Played a little ball there, and I was an athlete. Grew up as an athlete, and it's kind of steered my life all the way up to this point. I am a firefighter for the city of Houston. I'm a business owner. Thank you. No problem. Business owner, entrepreneur. Married 21 years.
Awesome.
December makes 22.
Wow. Okay.
And have two kids. Well, young men now. One is in college and one is a senior in high school.
We're gonna talk about Tyler.
You can't call them babies no more, Rodney.
We're gonna talk about Tyler shortly. That's awesome, cool. So Rodney, when did your love for football begin?
I would have to say the love for it was probably freshman year, I guess. Freshman year in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what position did you play?
I played quarterback. I was a DB in high school. I mean, in junior high, and was on the playground one day at Washita Junior High. And I don't know if you remember Mr. Kelly. Well, we used to go to these high school games, and they used to throw these little balls, the little plastic balls. And one day everybody was out throwing, and I figured I'd give it a shot and started throwing it. He suggested, man, you should try out for football. You should try for quarterback. And I tried out. and the
rest is history.
Rest is history, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
How it happened.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this much, Sonya. He being a little modest, because the one thing about it is that, Rodney O was probably, I would definitely say, one of the probably top 3 natural athletes I've ever seen in my life. One of those cats that could do just about anything, no matter where you put him. So quarterback wasn't a surprise for us, but I think it was for everybody else. We knew what Rodney was about. It was just a matter of making sure we could get him in the right place. That's all.
That's what's up. Good so time. Rodney, we've had some wild stories on this show. Jamie, don't even
go ahead and get it out the way.
Don't even try it. Don't edge him. I want to hear his story. So, Sid and Jameion, and most recently, former NFL player Fred Smoot, they've all given me this story about when Provine, which is my alma mater, first met Washita,
Mhm.
the Big O.
Washita.
Mhm.
Before we met the Big O, in Monroe.
Mhm.
Can you tell me do you remember that first meeting? And if you do, could you tell us your recollection of that meeting? What happened before the game and everything?
I remember it vaguely. I'm not sure if I can remember what happened before the game, but I mean, by me, me and Sid got to LSU around the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know he was from Provine, but he walked up to me once he found out where I was from, and it's been an ongoing story. He was like, "Man, I remember when we came up there, man. Y'all had some big old college players on y'all team getting off the bus." So, I mean, but I mean, at the same time, we had just pretty much started playing out of state teams, so we didn't know what to expect at the same time. But we were a confident team, and all the way from Little League, so we were confident, and we looked like a university. We had some big guys, as you can see, one down here.
Yeah. Well, I was told, Fred said that the school looked like the mall. He was like, I thought we were going to a high school. It looked like a mall. And Cedric told me that Jameion was dragging our team members down the field. And then
Yeah.
Cedric told me, Jameion said that they got off the bus acting all wild,
Look,
slapping y'all girls' butts, the cheerleader butts, and
look,
Oh, it was crazy now.
look, Rodney O. So I told them about how the pregame activity with B Love happened, and when B Love came in the locker room crying,
Mhm.
and then Chris Staten was like a caged lion in that glass
Oh my
cage.
God.
He was ready to roll.
Yeah, that was a whole different animal right there, boy.
so okay. So I'm trying to see if they're telling the truth.
Oh yeah, all that stuff happened. I mean, yeah, it was some commotion and some activities pregame, but they had to blow their whistle to get it started. So
Yeah,
and that's the real story.
yeah. I heard we got spanked pretty bad, but y'all came to Provine the following year, and Jameion was hurt, thank God, and that's
Yeah,
how we won that game.
yeah, but it's good times, and you never know who you run into in
It's true.
life, and we just lifelong friends now, all of us.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
crazy.
So Jamie, you wanted to talk to him about LSU?
Yeah. So we've talked a lot on the show about just the journey that we've
Yeah.
taken individually and as athletes going through. So in your journey, Rodney, what would you really call your defining moment between that time leaving Washita and of course getting to LSU?
Man, I would define it. My moment was actually, I didn't start off at LSU. I took a different route. Almost in the same way that kind of like my son did. I went to a junior college out of Fort Scott, Kansas, and it was difficult for me because I'm away from home, and I had to learn a different position. People always talk about it. Well, when you go to college, you're gonna play this, you're gonna play that. Where the coach saw me catching the ball, and they tried me out, and it worked out for me because playing quarterback, and throwing the ball to a receiver, where you want your receivers to be. So it was a easy transition for me, and played well, and I was one of the top ranked receivers out of junior college, and had my opportunity to get recruited again, and had 5 options, and ended up choosing LSU, and totally different world in the South from the North. So I had to learn. I had to learn, and had some great experiences throughout my time there. I think one of the defining moments while I was at LSU, I have 2. I can remember the day where y'all used to always say, "Man, you so little, you ain't gonna never get no muscles." Da, 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 da. And I was little. I was little in high school. And my defining moment was the day I was walking to go lift weights, and I had these, everybody, when you start getting muscles, everybody want to wear tight stuff. So I had these tight shorts on, and I was able to start seeing the, like the lines in my legs, the dumps in my arms, and realize, man, man, I'm actually getting bigger.
Right.
So, and when you see that, your confidence build up, you
Yeah.
start playing better. And I ended up being like the MVP of the spring game. So my confidence was really up, so, and also Florida was #1 in the nation. They came to us and we had a great week of preparation and we upset them at LSU.
Wow.
And
Yeah, you and Sid did the fool that game.
oh yeah.
And Tommy Banks too. I remember that.
Oh yeah, Tommy Banks, yeah,
Yeah,
all North
yeah.
Louisiana. And at the end of the game when everybody's, crowding the field,
Mhm.
out of all those people, I run face to face to my girlfriend, well, wife now, but girlfriend at the time. So it's just the everlasting memory for us. So
Wow, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
You didn't know her then, or was she your
Yeah, we
girlfriend
were
at the
we were
time?
boyfriend and girlfriend then.
Okay,
But I
okay.
mean it's 60,000, 80,000 people at the game and you don't know who's
You
who.
run into her.
Run right into her. So
Oh,
so
that was a sign.
yeah. 22 years later.
That's what's up. So, and I guess because I'm not an athlete, I
Mhm.
didn't. Well, I played kickball, but whatever,
Uh-oh.
whatever, Jamie.
Kickball count. Kickball count.
It does. I
Yeah,
have
it does.
always. I started the first Jackson League 10 years ago. Yeah.
Hey.
But you were saying that it made a difference when you started seeing definition in your legs and stuff. So it really does make a difference for athletes when y'all, when you put on a little weight. I mean, is it just for football or?
I think it's you start to see your hard work and all the efforts,
Okay.
start to come to real life and you can, you've been working hard and you're seeing those results, and I tell my boys that, you got to work hard and it's not going to be easy, that no one's going to give it to you. I mean, kids nowadays, they got it made and don't realize it. They got laptops, instant, everything is instant
Right.
film, all these different things, and take the little things for granted. So I try to,
That's true.
and I tell them all the time, it's nothing I can do with y'all physically now. It's all here now.
Mental, yeah.
I do the mental stuff with them now. So,
Well, that's how Michael Jordan won most of his stuff mentally.
yeah,
he
mentally
played
strong.
mentally,
Yeah,
so.
you want to be mentally strong.
So, Jameion, did you ever have to go through that? I don't think so, because I saw film of you in high school. You was already.
Look here. Well, I'll tell you this much. So, I was in the same boat. I mean, because look,
Okay.
I stayed in the Fat Boy Club. I was in the Breakfast Club
You
forever.
weren't fat to me. You was just
Yeah,
solid.
but look,
Yeah,
Sonya,
he was solid. He wasn't
solid.
fat. It
I
was muscle.
smell a pork chop and pick up 7 pounds, man. That's all it was, man. It was.
Well, if you say that way.
but I tell you this much, you do start to functionally start to understand how your body works, and when you talk
Okay.
about people seeing it and everything else, yeah, your body changes. I can tell you when I was a freshman, I wore number 34 at Notre Dame, and then I came out that next spring because that first year you grudging through it, you trying to figure things out, you're getting into the groove of everything. Well, I figured out real quick, man. I needed to run. I needed to trim down. I had a playing weight
Okay.
that I felt good at. That was fast and I was strong. So I was determined to get down to that playing weight by that spring. And I went in and man, I started banging it out. And like you said, it's the mental portion of it in terms of how you gauge it, how you work, how you push yourself. Man, you'd be surprised. I was doing some things I never thought I'd do. Right. And when I started that spring, I changed my number to 33.
Why did you change your number to 33?
Well, see, 33 was my heart, man. That was my heart. That was that. and it was being worn by somebody when I got there, and I couldn't convince him to give it to me. And, yeah. So when he left, I picked it up, and immediately, as soon as I heard he was transferring, I was like, I'm in. I got to have that number.
Mine now.
Yeah, it's mine now. Look. And I remember when I was in the stretch line, like one of the first days of spring, and Coach Oates walked by, and he stopped practice, and he said, "Hey, I want to introduce y'all to a new player we got. I don't know where it came from." Yeah. He said, "But he got the name of this little chubby dude that used to be in here before."
Hey.
So
Hey,
So
you
what did you
having the
get
right
down
number.
to, Jameion? I'm sorry, Rodney.
No, I'm saying that was a big thing though.
Yeah.
You look good, you play good, you got your right number, and you
Mm-hmm.
play excellent.
Oh yeah, you
Look,
felt good.
Dion, look, he was in it.
Yeah, you look good, you play good.
Yeah.
That's right. So Jay, what did you get? What size did you get down to? I'm just curious. What was your confident playing
Whew.
weight?
My playing weight was between 238 and 242. And it
Nice.
was that specific. 238 and 242 was my playing weight.
And what's your height?
6'1".
Yeah,
6'1".
yeah, that's
And
nice.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good stuff.
look, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, Sonya, because I tell you this much, you know, I mean, I could have easily been on that 3-point stands and in the nose because look, I discovered some things like creatine and everything else that
Oh yeah.
look, I ballooned up at one point to like almost 280 trying to play.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Wow. Oh,
no,
you couldn't move.
ooh,
Not like you wanted
look.
to.
You
I
felt
was
it. Yeah.
about to move.
You definitely
I was
felt
about to
you
move to
felt
that
it.
3 take.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's good times, man. Good
Yeah.
times. Good, you know, good learning experiences to, to teach, So teach your offsprings, all the stuff
Yeah.
you've been through. So
Speaking
good
of
and the bad.
offsprings, speaking
Mm-hmm.
of offsprings, let's talk about Tyler Hudson.
Uh-oh. T Huddy.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
5, I believe, in the top 50 wide receivers. Is it week
Yeah.
11?
Yeah, week 11, he's jumped to the top 5 from the I believe the 36 or 46 spot. So he had a really big game, and he needed that game against Clemson to show what he can do in the open field, and he just really excelled. They went to him, and you know we had a friend of ours tell us, he was like, you need to renew your vows. We know you love the game, and these last 4 games you need to renew those vows and fall back in love with the game.
Yeah.
And he scored for his first touchdown at Wake Forest. So we talked to a guy again at the end of the week, and he was like, I see, I see you fell in love again, and you found your bride in that end zone. So Tyler started laughing, and he had another back-to-back week going into the Clemson game, and he opened up another opportunity for himself, and he got awarded. Well, not awarded, but he's listed on the Biletnikoff Award. So that's
Awesome.
huge for him.
Yeah.
So that makes him now. He's been on the watch list for the Jerry Rice Award. He's been on the watch list for the Walter Payton Award. He's been All-American 3 years, and he's working on being an All-American in this transfer year to Louisville. So he works hard, man. He works hard, and it's just his. He's seeing the benefit of reaping the benefits of his hard work right now.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Rodney. So going through, what advice did you have for him leaving Central Arkansas and then going to Louisville this past year, going in first year? What was your advice to him now in this age of what we're calling new recruiting, transfer portal, and even trying to get into the right place for him? What was your biggest piece of advice for him?
Our thing was it was me and my wife, and Tyler's he's sharp, man. He's bright. He was recruited by Harvard, Yale, all those teams, Holy Cross. So he's sharp. But our main thing was, do your research. Don't just get in that portal and get stuck in the black hole of portal. Have a plan. Ask the coaches what you want to ask them. Make a template and ask every coach the same thing. But once you get going, you'll figure out some different questions. So, and he did that, man. It was hard for him to, go in that first day and, tell coach that he was wanting to get in the portal. It was hard for him because, he's created these relationships and, he's the man there. But, he kind of reached his ceiling there. His stock was the highest it can go coming from an FCS program. So he could have bet on himself and entered the draft, or get into the portal, get some more coaching, get coached up a little bit more, hit play against some more competition. And that was our thing. You know, we went there, I think the last game of the season, to his apartment. And he was at the point where he was like, man, I just wish I could hear that crowd roar, you know, on a big play.
Yeah.
And his mom and I remembered that, you know, when it was hard for him to make that decision, he called us crying. It's like, I don't know if I can do this. And, you know, and he was like, why am I doing this again? And we told him, you know, do you still want to hear that crowd roar? You know, do you still want to elevate your possibilities? And he was like, yeah. And I was at a, you know, I wasn't at home, but my wife was at home. We was on a 3-way call. And we said this at the same time. I mean, pinpoint. We was both like, well, validate it, you know, validate what you want to do, get there, go work hard, earn a spot, you know, and, you know, try to reach your goal. And he did. He went there, worked hard, won starting position, you know, became a leader on the team, and he's the leading receiver on the team right now. I think he's number 3 in the ACC. And he's every week he's just climbing. Awesome. So,
and he's at Louisville, right?
Yes, University of Louisville. Yeah. So, and it's good that his younger brother sees that. I used to do this thing with Tyler, where I would you know, I would practice, you know, let's interview, you know, because you're gonna get interviewed. Let's interview. So I'll put like a newspaper or something up to his mouth, ask some questions, and he caught on to it. So this one particular summer, I think 2 summers ago, I got Jacob in the kitchen. Tyler's at home for the summer, and I'm, you know, he's the young one, so he's gonna try you. Ask him a few questions about basketball, and he answers the question, yeah, I'm gonna jump high, I'm gonna run fast, I'm gonna shoot the ball. You know,
he's a smart aleck.
Yeah, we're trying to be serious. But
that's a Tito answer. That's what that was.
So this is what helped me understand and see Tyler's growth, because he was coming downstairs and he heard us in the kitchen. He comes around the corner, is like, come on, Jacob, let's go. And instantly it's like he started answering the question. He got serious. So the maturity level, and to see him pick up off what Big Brother is doing, it helps us so much.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It also helps the fact that you've gone through this already, and you played for a huge university. Yeah. And you know that's awesome that you guys are doing that, and he's practicing, and because he's going, I mean, from what I'm hearing about him, Jameion has been bragging about this kid. Yeah. What I'm hearing about him, he is going to be doing a lot of interviewing.
Yeah.
Look, and it's funny because we have been, look, Rodney, we've been exchanging, you know, video of him since he was Pee Wee League, and you know, and I remember watching how great his balance and his body lean was, and we talked about that as a youngster. Yeah, and you know, back then, and as soon as I saw him play earlier this season, I said, "Oh my God, that is him right there." I didn't even see the name yet, and I knew it just from watching him, man. I'm excited to see what happens with him, and he's got a bright future, man. And like you say, he's a good kid, and I can't wait to see what happens next, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, almost one down and one to go, one to grow with Jacob. Now that's a different monster with him.
What do you mean?
he's basketball.
Okay.
He was a football player, and he was really good. He was a receiver also. But his body started, you know, developing, and he started just looking like a basketball player.
Okay.
So he's been blessed. This is his 3rd high school, and he's a senior now. And every year, first year at Klein Oak, same school Tyler went to, district leading in scoring, first team, played there for 2 years, transferred to a private school here, took him to state. Now he's, you know, he played AAU in the top Dallas team, independent team, and he got looked at, and got picked up by a national team. So he's fortunate enough to play on a national team his senior year, so he gets to travel around the country, you know, and play basketball. So
that's awesome.
So it's awesome. So and Mom and I, we're empty nesters now. So woohoo. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
So,
but you know,
so
you've been go ahead, Jay.
no. I was going to ask. So let me ask you this too before we I know we're jumping and we're going to be pressed for time. But what is your impression, or what's been the biggest impact of NIL and college football from your perspective, from a parental perspective, and really the player perspective too, with
That's
Tyler
good.
so far?
For us, it's been, I think it's good for them to have this NIL going on because, us going through what we used to always wanted. We got the stipend, but now, man, I think it's helping them kind of get like a head start on working their finances, having the opportunity to, see your value, where coaches can, get in there, get millions of dollars, lose, and go to another team. And now it's on the other hand. Now you've got to coach. If you can't coach that team, you're out of there. Or if I'm not, doing if I'm doing good and I'm not seeing, the benefits of the hard work that I'm doing, I can get out of there. So I think it's kind of even, and it's helping every team. It's hurting the 2023 and 2024 recruits because that COVID year kind of put a gap,
Right.
and that gap is going to always be there. It's going to always be there. But in terms of NIL, I mean, it's beneficial to a lot of these kids, man. I think it's a great idea. I wish they could have, kind of did it different to make it like a trust,
That's
where
Jamie, what have I been saying?
Yeah.
where
Put it all in the
I
trust for
agree.
when they're done. Yeah.
Like give them a stipend every
Yeah.
month,
yeah,
but the majority goes into a trust. So when they
yeah,
graduate, everybody's not going to the NFL or
right,
to the
right,
NBA.
yeah,
So at least you have some money to fall back on,
yeah,
while you getting your, career started,
yeah,
get a home. That's what I wish.
yeah.
I
It was to
totally
set it
agree.
up just a little bit different to where it benefits all the players, just not the top players.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. That's
but
I
but
totally agree.
but great idea though. I'm glad they're getting paid. I'm glad. Yeah.
You know,
Need it.
yeah, they do need it. I totally agree. I was against it for a little while. Jamie and they had to kind of persuade me, but I
Yeah.
was like that. If they could get a trust, it would be perfect. It would be
Yeah.
a perfect
Yeah. They
situation.
they ask a lot of those athletes. Some
Yeah.
of them may not make it. It may not seem that way, but they're in those facilities a long time
hmm
throughout the period of the day. So,
And putting their body through a lot.
putting their body through a lot of stress. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's true. We're gonna still. I want to talk about college football right now, but we're gonna switch gears a little bit. As you know, on yesterday or the night before,
Mm.
3 football players were killed at UVA.
Yeah.
Lavel Davis Jr. It breaks my heart. Devin
Yeah.
Chandler
Yeah.
and Deshaun Perry. Every time I look at them, it makes me. It just. I can't. I'm not a mother, so I can only empathize with parents. But as a parent for both of you, and your kids play ball, how does this affect you as a parent? Because you're sending your kids off to school thinking they're safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to play school, they're going to get an education. These children are gone now
Mm.
for nothing, senseless. What are your thoughts on this? Starting with Rodney.
I think it's sad that happened. I just overheard today on the radio that it was the guy was, I guess, retaliating because he was bullied, and he made a call to his dad to try to say that he didn't know where else to turn. So turning that way, it doesn't make it good for anybody.
Yeah.
We're losing a lot of people over a lot of gun violence now, and it just something's got to happen. I mean, I don't want to talk politics about it, but something has to happen because it happens, it passes 4 or 5 days, 3 weeks or so, and you get
We
numb
forget.
to it. You
You
just
get
get
numb
so
to it.
numb.
It's so many
It's
killings.
so many now. Yeah, you get numb to it. It's like, man, this can't be the norm. It can't be the norm. You got kids going to school. Our kids are going to school. Friends' kids are going to school, and you just never know what they're going to do to prevent this stuff from happening, and it's just unfortunate, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry for those families.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the same, and even to, kind of piggyback on it all. I mean, I think we still got to get back and we got to reconnect with our kids and make sure that they have some of those foundational principles built at home. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Having some level of respectability. I mean, me and Rodney, I mean, we come from the old school, access to guns and everything else. I mean, even you, Sonya, we that was kind of a very extreme thing when we were growing up. When somebody said you had a gun, it was like, oh my God, like, whoa, why is it so serious, right? And knuckle up, live to see another day. But the thing about it is that we've got to get back to understanding, again, where those foundational principles have gone wrong, where we've lost them. I get it, and I feel not only horrible for those families that have to bury those children, but even that family that now has to, lose their child to the system that we know is just not built for the benefit of our brown kids, man, going inside and trying to live the rest of their life, man. I mean, it's a tragedy on many accords, and I'm like you, Rodney. I mean, we don't know what the politics are. We don't know what the answer is, but something has to happen. Somebody has to wake up at some point and listen.
Somebody's got to work together and do something.
Yeah, it's too easy. It's too accessible to go to that extreme measure, man. I mean, I hope that we can all take a lesson from this and look. And I mean, I go back and hell, I want to go hug my boys and just let them know. I mean, you try and keep them prayed up. You try and make sure that they're safe, and you try to put them in the best situation possible. But at the same time, I tell them all the time, man, treat people the way you want to be treated, man. And and that's sometimes something that may save your life, when people, you never know what they're going through in life. So sometimes a good morning may help, so.
It's funny how these kids are, and we've talked, they're different from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Fred and Sid was just talking the last month about how they used to talk about each other so bad.
Oh yeah.
And nobody tried to shoot each other.
Right.
All he did, he was so angry with Sid, he got out the car and walked for like 3 miles. He wouldn't get back in the car.
Yeah.
You're angry. Y'all fight it out. Fight. But these kids don't know how to fight.
They don't,
They don't know how to fight.
Nope.
A lot of them don't have fathers in their lives.
Yeah.
So they handle a lot of stuff like, and I may get in trouble for saying this, but they're emotional, really emotional, because they're probably around a lot of women.
Yeah.
And we are emotional beings. And so, I mean, I'm not going to get a gun and shoot anybody, but what I'm saying is they do a lot of stuff off emotions, not, I hate if that was the case that he was getting bullied. Was he saying that the 3 that he killed, that they bullied him, or they just?
I think it was a combination of things. They were saying it was like, hazing, and he was a walk-on that didn't make it, and it was kind of the combination of a lot of those different things, but again, it has to go back to it at a certain point, man. You have to have some level of understanding, what your emotional intelligence is telling you, and then being able to react to it.
You have to be able to, process that, let that internal stuff, let it build up, and only other way to get it out is, that rage, and, that's, it's not good. You got to talk to people.
That's true. Well, our condolences to the family, to the young man and his family, because like you said, they're losing a son too.
Yeah.
He took 3 lives, and he may not probably ever see out of prison again. I really hate that.
Yeah.
Prayers for
and prayers for the running back too, because he's got his second surgery, so he's in critical condition right now. So it may be a 4th. Who knows, man?
Wow. Lord have mercy. Rodney, we usually, when Sid and Jameion, they come on, we do the NFL recap, whatever week it is. But we're not gonna do the full recap. I just want to do the game, Monday Night Football game, the Eagles versus Washington. first of all, I mean, I wasn't expecting them to break their streak, but the Eagles lost to the Commanders 32-21. Jay, what are your thoughts on this win and also on the Eagles overall? Because last year around this time, we were praying that Jalen would get a win.
Yeah.
They went 8-0. You know,
Yep.
what are your thoughts?
So it's hard to win in the NFL. I ain't gonna tell you what we saw with the Patriots back in 20, whatever the year that was. I mean, it was unheard of to go, that many wins. I mean, it's hard. In my opinion, Eagles are still one of the top teams in the league. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. I mean, always been. I think he's a phenomenal QB, but even more so, I still believe in that team, right? I don't think that one loss does anything for him.
Oh, absolutely.
I think if anything, it helps us to have a little more faith in Ron Rivera and the Commanders at this point. You know, me and you've always had that conversation, son. I don't know why the Commanders aren't winning, right? I can't tell you with that defense that they've got put together why they aren't crushing people, right?
I don't get it.
Yeah, we don't get it. So it was good to see them compete. It was good to see them play the way they did. The one thing I would tell Ron Rivera, don't put Carson Wentz back in the game. Look, let this let Tyler Heineke or whatever it is, let him keep rolling. Let him keep rolling because they are clicking and they have a lot of faith in him. And I mean, you can tell those guys around him are responding to his presence right now. So, I mean, it was good to see them compete. And, and again, we'll see what happens. But, I'm still a believer. Philly's going to do well. They're going to go far this year.
Yeah. I text Fred today and asked, I thought Fred suited up last night because they won. I mean, but, I was impressed. I was impressed. Like you said, they got the goods.
Yeah.
Just use it. Just use it.
I think, like you say, I'm a Jalen Hurts fan ever since, Alabama. We're all rooting for him, but I'm the same way, any given Sunday, or Monday night, any team can be beat. I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, you have athletes on both sides of the ball, on both teams. So you just can't get caught slipping, Like you say, the quarterback for the Commanders was it Heineke? Young, he's played with some spunk, like you say, they followed his lead and he made plays, but at the same time, I think the Eagles, like you say, that one game, it's kind of good to get it on out of the way now to get that taste out of your mouth now. Get the L now. So get back on track and let's see if we can get back on track, to get that confidence back up. So I'll say just, any team can be beat though. You get caught slipping, one play can make all the difference in momentum. So
yeah, you're right. Because my team, oh my gosh, lost to the Lions. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I
could have threw my TV in the garbage Sunday. And I heard you a Saints fan. That was pretty tough, dog.
Yeah, we struggling right now, boy.
Yeah.
The fans going hard on the head coach right now. They trying to get him out of there, but
they got to give him time. I mean, you got to give him time.
I mean, it goes back to like college. You got all these athletes. You got to coach them up now.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get the win, we got to find somebody else to get it.
No.
I guess. Jay, what's
now the one thing I'm gonna tell you this much though, Sonia, I was very, and if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, I'm
impressed
very
with Justin. I feel good.
I am very impressed with Justin. You know what? I was afraid that we were gonna start seeing Justin hit that panic button. But he's playing with a tremendous amount of poise and control. I mean, we can go back, several weeks ago. I don't know if the O-line play is that bad or if the D-line play is that good, but we're putting a lot of QBs in a lot of situations where they're taking hits. And we've seen Justin, kind of adapt and evolve to where he's understanding where his pressure is coming from. And you can see it. His play is phenomenal. I think so.
He's thinking out there. He's not just, it's not, he's processing it better now.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's not, the first couple of years you in there, everything is fast. You're trying to
Yeah.
get with the speed of the game. Well, he's got that speed down now where he can, it's slowed down to him. He's used to that rhythm now. So
And I
and I
don't,
think
yeah,
it's
and
showing.
I totally agree. I'm excited about him. I just was like the Lion. I mean, it's just like we've been having some tough losses.
Yeah.
And so that game, we kind of just gave it away, I
Yeah.
felt. But I totally agree. Yeah, I'm seeing major progress in Justin. Major, and
Yeah.
I'm excited about it because he's a franchise of the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your team, Jameion? I forgot.
Look, I love them all. I love good football, but I have to keep peace at home, so I'm gonna have to go with the Saints. So
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta go. Well,
my,
we
my,
we
my,
have
my-
our hard time. We have our hard times, but when they good, they good.
And I always tell people, I've gone to a couple of Saints games. Y'all have the best fans in the freaking world.
Oh
oh
yeah.
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 They are amazing. I
Mhm.
remember going to an Atlanta Falcons not Bears, Dallas game.
Mhm.
And I lived in Dallas for 9 years, so that's my secondary team.
Mhm.
And I had on a jersey. They were trying to fight me. It was
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. They are horrible fans.
Yeah.
And Dallas Cowboys, they got good fans. And the Mavericks, I wasn't used to that. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh
They're
yeah.
horrible fans.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some SWAC football, to my Tigers, the Jackson State Tigers.
Mhm.
So as you know, JSU, we're 10-0, back-to-back SWAC East champions.
Yep.
And we will play the SWAC champion game December 3rd at the Vet. Who we're playing, that's still to be determined.
Yeah.
However, we play Alcorn Braves this Saturday in Lorman.
Trap game.
Oh man.
Don't fall
That's
for it.
That's
Oh,
our
yeah.
last regular season game.
Yeah.
And you said that's the trap game?
That's the trap game. Yes, it is. Fred would do anything he can to upset that streak right now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
It gets tough.
the fans all over the SWAC would love to see
Oh yeah.
us lose that game.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Jay, what are your thoughts on this matchup on Saturday and who comes out on top?
Yep.
Mhm.
So JSU, I think, has really shown that they have moved their play up a level.
Yeah.
They've taken some athletes, added some consistency, and brought some toughness to their game plan. And really, you got to go beat them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Alcorn's equipped to beat them, but at the same time, that's an emotional game too, right? These two campuses are really close.
Yeah.
It's like a family feud, right? And anything can happen in that game. And Rodney, I don't know if you've ever been down here, but I can tell you this much: I'm very, very impressed by what Coach Prime has done with this program. Has reignited the city, the feeling. I mean, there is a buzz like no other, and it's not just about again, the fact that you got a Hall of Famer that's here that's doing it. But I mean, it's got these kids excited. It's got the city excited. Similar to what you are when you at a big Power 5 school, in these small towns.
Right.
And everybody is, on board with you. You're getting a little bit of that in that you hadn't had, I think, in a long time. So I think it's exciting to see. I want to see them, close everything out and then go win everything that they're setting out for, because I mean, I think those kids have worked their butts off, and they deserve it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the outside looking in, but I mean, I see it. I see it all too. What Dion has done, what Coach Prime has done for Jackson State, man, it's just blowing the SWAC up right now. A lot of eyes are on the SWAC. A lot of eyes on his program. How fast he turned it around. How fast he's added on, brought those facilities there. They got suits. They get everything. Everything the top Power 5 schools have. It's on that campus. So to have those kids to go through that with that caliber of coach or person, it's going to only. I would like to see the SWAC, support Dion a little bit more and try to do with other programs and what he's doing with that program, it's possible because he's showing that it's possible. He's got a little bit more clout, but at the same time, man, it's a powerful movement, and we see it. I see it from the outside looking in, but I definitely see it.
It's so powerful, Rodney, that and Jay, he would probably agree with me on this. He would run for mayor, and they would.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he would
absolutely
win.
Yeah.
When I say he loves this city, he is truly, truly trying to make some changes, not just at Jackson State, but Jackson.
Yeah.
He has conversations. He has his ear to the ground, and I'm really proud of Jackson State. Has always had a rich history of winning.
Yeah.
However, we fell on some hard times, and Jameion knows we work at the same company, and every Friday, during football season, we wear either our college or pro football jerseys or shirts. And every week I would be like, I would put on my Jackson State shirt because I'm telling Jamie, I'm die hard. We was like not winning crap.
Yeah.
When I say I love my Tigers, and those guys, Alcorn, would give me hell.
Yeah.
I would want to run to my car every day, just run and cry. But I wasn't no punk, and I had to just. You got on another JSU shirt?
Yeah. You gotta go through it.
They harassed me.
Oh yeah.
Now they're so quiet. Jamie, do you hear? You don't even see Alcorn. They used to have pictures up. You don't see nothing.
Oh, you used to have their flags. Oh yeah. Joe and them have
so quiet. All they talk about is the bands. I'm like, but what about the football?
What about the game? Yeah.
What's up? So I'm not gonna go Saturday, because you have to get up at 4:00 in the morning just to get on campus. And you're going to be there breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
See, that's the difference
I
now.
won't get home till midnight because it's it's small, and I want to go, but I think I'm having a watch party at my house.
That's like you said, it's a big difference now because people used to go to wait for the halftime to see the halftime show. For Jackson State, they come to see that team play.
They come to see that team. They come to see the team.
Yeah, them boys out there balling.
Yeah, they balling, and so it's it's exciting. I'm excited about it. But so if we win the championship game, which I'm sure we will on the 3rd, we will end up playing MEAC's North Carolina Central Eagles. They're already slated for the Celebration Bowl, which will be December 17th in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Excuse me. We lost last year 31-10 to South Carolina State Bulldogs. That was a tough one. I mean, it was hurtful, and Prime and his team has already vowed to make it back to the Celebration Bowl and take it all. So what are
all the Carolina teams are good? All of them.
North Carolina,
all the Carolina teams are good.
Well, that was the thing. South Carolina was really not that good of a team, especially defense-wise. However, I think, and Jamie, we talked about this. I think the Tigers started believing their own hype.
Well,
they slept on them. They kind of slept on South Carolina.
So I think, when we talked about all the things that, Prime had to bring together this year, I think the one thing he took away from that game is that he saw for the first time his kids get pushed around, right?
Exactly.
He saw a level of toughness where people didn't care about the scoreboard. And that didn't quite register with his JSU team in a young mentality, right? I think there were a couple of times when a couple of dudes, jumped off sides and they just smacked the linemen right in the mouth, and everybody's like, "Oh, I don't get a double penalty." No, nobody cares about that, right? But what they care about is, again, are you going to have that wherewithal to push back, to punch back, to fight, and to take that and be tough and respond and keep your composure. I think that's what they learned this year. So, it may be a different story this year, but I think that's one of the things that you walk into this team last year. That's the biggest difference, is the fact that I think they're ready to brawl with people, right? You know, I
Yeah.
think that they're ready to not necessarily get out there and, you know, start getting a bunch of penalties, but understand that, you know, it's about how many times I get up and not get knocked down. And that's what's going to make the difference and not think in the game overall. But
they've bought in.
Yep.
They bought in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have dominated. They bought in. This is the first time in the team's history that we've been 10-0.
Mhm.
So this is, you know, this is major. So I'm excited. So who wins in this possible matchup between North Carolina Eagles and JSU? Have you kind of seen what North Carolina's been doing, Jay?
Yeah. I guess I've seen a little bit of, you know, I guess the synopsis overall. I think on paper, you know, JSU I think has an advantage for athlete to athlete.
Okay.
But I'm like this too. I don't want to see JSU try to play from behind. You know, so they're going to have to go ball control and up tempo very early and strike often. You know, and every point is going to have to count for them. So
Yeah.
as long as they do that and they play their game, I think they're going to be fine.
I think JSU wins it, and I think they win it big because, you know, to be on that stage and where they are now, they like we just said, they bought in. You know, they're going to be ready to play. And this, you know, Deion has brought a lot of attention to that program, and they just had a kid. I think they just had a kid that just got picked up for the East-West Shrine game.
Yeah, they did.
One of the receivers.
Was it a receiver or a linebacker?
I want to say it was a receiver.
Okay.
But that's huge. FCS receiver getting picked up early in the selection in the Shrine Bowl. That's like one of the biggest senior bowls this year. So that's another testament of what he's doing for that program, because, you know, it's hard to get selected for those games.
That's
so
true.
To have the caliber players, they're not gonna let the city down in a big game like this.
Oh no, they better not.
Yeah,
because I don't want to hear it at work. I would have to just work at home for the rest of the year.
Hey, them boys run through. Deion got them boys ready to run through the walls.
Oh,
there you go.
That's true. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Rodney, it's so nice meeting you today. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
But
having me.
before we go, you're welcome. We play a game called You Can Get With This or You Can Get With That.
Uh-oh.
And what that is, it's a way for the listeners and myself to get to know the guest better. I'll ask you and Jameion a few questions, and you tell me which one best fits you. So since Thanksgiving is around the corner, Jameion, they're all Thanksgiving. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Ooh, no, that's my thing. Food. Yes.
So the first one, would you prefer? Look at him. Look how he done leaned in, Rodney.
Hey, that boy ready.
Hey man. And this one, the first one is my favorite because I gotta get this to him. You prefer fried turkey or smoked turkey? Hello? Anybody?
Oh, for me or Rodney?
Both of y'all, fried turkey or smoked turkey?
I'm fried turkey.
Fried.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fried turkey.
Jameion fries the best turkeys. I don't know if you ever had them, but they're amazing.
Dang, I gotta get to the sip.
Yeah, I'm taking mine to him probably this week. Pecan pie or sweet potato pie?
Sweet potato pie, hands down.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go pecan. I gotta go pecan.
Sweet potato pie.
Yeah, I'm a sweet. I like both of them, but I'm a sweet potato pie girl too.
Yeah.
Pecan and some bluebell.
Ooh. Wait a minute. I may change. That
Sweet
sounds
potato pie.
Macaroni and cheese or potato salad?
Oh, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Yeah, I'm going mac and cheese. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know why I put this because I already know the answer. Do you prefer Thanksgiving parades or the football games?
Football games.
I'm gonna give my political answer. Of course, we like the parades. That's my nap time.
I know.
Yeah. I'm going football.
Right. Okay. Do y'all eat? And I asked this question because, well, I'll tell why. Do y'all eat at noon or after 3 o'clock? I mean, do y'all eat late? My family, we eat at noon, high noon.
Noon.
Yeah, we eat at noon because, you know, by 3 o'clock you're gonna be asleep and you'll wake up by 5, eat again.
And eat again, right?
There you go.
Who eats Thanksgiving at 5 o'clock? I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Oh yeah, that's too late.
That would run me crazy. I couldn't do it.
You gonna eat it all week anyway.
Right.
That's it. So might as well start early.
Yeah,
Start early.
Look, speaking of that, leftover for breakfast, or are you done with Thanksgiving after Thanksgiving Day?
Oh no! Look, leftovers, recreated meals.
Oh yeah,
look,
yeah. We had
oh.
that if that turkey good out of that grease, it's gonna last for a good while.
Wait a minute now.
We
So
make
how long? Now,
sandwiches.
by Sunday, you should be done, y'all.
Not if you do it right.
I'll give it a full week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
full week. Yeah.
Look, Sonya, we gonna recreate some meals. We're gonna make
yeah.
sandwiches. We're gonna make sliders. We're gonna do we get a week out of that.
Yeah, you
You
just
talking
fill it
about
up
the
good.
dressing and the macaroni and all of that too?
Everything. Everything.
That's gonna be gone, but yeah, all that's got to go. Yeah.
No. Yeah, and the garbage after Sunday. No. So, do you prefer Black Friday shopping in store or online now?
Online for us.
Yeah. I don't people.
I hate going to the stores.
You people are crazy now. So, do you prefer giblet gravy or cranberry sauce on your dressing?
Can I do both? It's got to be one or the other.
No.
I do both.
You sound a little hungry.
Yeah.
Jamie, which one or both?
I'm gonna go cranberry.
Do you
Yeah.
prefer cranberry sauce in the can or homemade? I like the
Homemade.
can. I like the
Oh, yeah,
jelly.
I'm gonna go with the can.
Yeah.
I never had
I'll
the
eat them
homemade.
both. But I tell you what, T made one year with some homemade, and it had some oranges in it and everything else. Oh, it was delicious.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it had like a real
Delicious.
tartish taste.
It was a little Swedish tartish. It was good. Look, it had me just scooping it out with the spoon. No, just eating it.
I haven't tried a homemade, but yeah.
Tell her to have some ready for me when I come get the turkey.
Will do.
So do you, and I know this is laughter when y'all hear this, are you guys gonna play the traditional touch football or are you sleep on the couch?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be sleep right there.
Ooh, nap. I already got the chair ready. And look,
Oh, yeah.
just nap.
Yeah, that day is over.
That's over with. That's why I laugh. But this one is the funniest. Last but not least, do you gentlemen prefer your mama's Thanksgiving or your wife's Thanksgiving dinners?
I'm gonna say my wife's. Because my mama stopped cooking our Thanksgiving dinner and she put us to work when I was like 12 or 13 because we ate too much.
I'm gonna say wife when I'm at home for Thanksgiving, but when I'm here for Thanksgiving, wife. But when I'm at home, I be calling my mom again.
Ooh.
I love it. Well, my mom, she really doesn't but to be honest, her Thanksgiving, my father, rest in peace, he could cook his butt off. My brother's a chef.
Yeah.
My sister can cook. I can cook, but my mom, I think she beats all of them though.
Dang, oh yeah.
She let them have it though. She let them have it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much again for joining the show. Guys, you can follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook.
Okay.
She Say Sports 23 on IG. At She Say 23 on Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, until next time, this is Sonya with She Say Sports.
Thanks for having us.
I love it.